Alright people, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video, and I guess it's going to be a review. Originally I was going to just do a YouTube short and say what I thought real quick about this movie, but decided, you know what, let's just do a quick old review. There will be a spoiler section at the end. I'll put a timestamp because I'm sure people will want to hear me talk about what the hell is in this movie, because who buddy. Anyway, so I was kind of looking forward to seeing this movie. It's The Flash, by the way. Poster's right there. The title of the video. Do I need to introduce it? You know what it is. And I was kind of looking for. I mean, the trailers themselves had some iffy special effects, but all the buzz about it, and Tom Cruise came out, freaking James Gunn came out, all these people came out. I think Steven Spielberg came out and said like it's amazing. It blew my balls right off of the area where they should be. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Tom Cruise literally jumped off a cliff, and he thinks this is amazing. He hung onto a plane and he saw this with these 2005 special effects, and he was like, yeah, that's the good shit. All right. So of course I was very, very interested because of that stuff. And of course, you know, early reviews, not reviews, but early impressions were really good from people too, saying it's one of the best superhero movies ever. It's the best thing I've ever seen. It's so good. I wish I could sacrifice things to it because I want to praise it as my one true deity. It's amazing. Did I say that word right? It's amazing. You get it. It's good. It's pretty good. So I kept hearing that, and then the reviews came out and it had like a 65 for Rotten Tomatoes. There's video game movies with higher scores. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go in just expecting a fun movie. And that's pretty much what I got. I'm just going to say right here, there are problems. Oh yeah. Mainly in the $200 to $220 million budget of this movie, because I don't know where the fuck that budget went, because it did not go to the special effects. These special effects teams like, they gave us a half-eaten donut and some cream cheese. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Is this our budget, or is this food that we all have to share, all 300 of us? I don't understand. What is this? And they just I feel so bad. I have to assume, because of all the reshoots, they just didn't have the time. They had a June set date, whenever they set that date for, sometime last year, I assume. And they were like, this movie has been in development hell. We need to release it. I don't care what it looks like. Someone at DC was probably saying that. Whoever runs it now. Who runs DC now? I don't know. I know James Gunn heads the vision, like where it's going, but isn't there somebody else that runs the whatever? Anyway, the one that makes the actual decisions on everything, I think, right? I don't know how it works. I don't really care, honestly. But so like someone must have been like, it's coming out. I don't give a shit if it looks like stick figures. It's coming out, and it came out, and it doesn't look like stick figures, but it's pretty close. That's not to say all the special effects about it, because I know everybody's gonna, dude. Hey guys, I'm warning you right now. And I'm warning people, you're going to have a good time. There's going to be so many memes about the special effects. There's going to be so many pictures of people with their phones out at the theater. Like, I need to take a picture of this because nobody's posted the weird looking CG babies. So no one has. Dude, the movie's been out technically for a few hours. And I assure you, if you go on Twitter, there's millions of pictures. Look how bad the baby looks. Look how bad this character looks and that character looks. I won't spoil anything yet, obviously. But there are ones I want to bring up because it's like, wow, holy shit. It does look bad. Is it one of the worst looking blockbusters I've ever seen? When it's bad, yes. When the special effects are bad, yes. I think there are some good special effects, though. I think people are just not giving them credit. Like, just straight up, like Ezra Miller being duplicated. The way they did that was almost seamless. I want to say there's a ton of times where they're interacting, they're on screen at the same time, and there's times where you can see it's definitely a double. Like if they're doing like a shot behind Ezra Miller's like head, and then the other Ezra Miller's right here, you know, like one of those shots. You could tell it's probably, or not that you could tell. I'm sure it's. I mean, why would you not just get a double there? Why CG his head or something? It doesn't make any sense. You can't even see their face. So that stuff is good. I think the doubling was very good, and there's a lot of it. There's sometimes where the special effects are fine. There's shots in the trailer you can see like, oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't look great or anything, but it's typical shit. Like you see it in pretty much every blockbuster movie. The Speed Force stuff is I know what's gonna get a lot of the brunt of the hate. Besides maybe the babies I mentioned before and some other things. And I think I understand what they're going for, because when he goes into the Speed Force, it kind of like it becomes this bubble thing, which is in the comic, I know. And then he sees everything happening, like fast forwarding, rewinding, all that stuff. So he sees a bunch of characters and stuff, and he like stops whenever he wants to like go into that, and so I get what they're doing because they're making everything look very special effecty there to make it look weird. I understood what they're going for. It doesn't look great, but it's fine for those shots. I don't think it's that big of a problem. I know some people are like, wow, look how bad the faces look here. I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to look real anyway, because it's supposed to be like it's weird. It's a weird choice because they could have just got the actual character, like the people there. I don't know. It's hard to explain unless you see the movie, and that's not a spoiler either. Obviously, he goes back in time and shit, so he has to go into the Speed Force. He's done it in the past. He did it in the fucking Justice League movie, which they don't really. All right, whatever. Because that also, whatever. I'm not even gonna try to figure out what's happening in these movies and what's canon and what's not. But yeah. So the special effects are awful. When they're bad, they're awful. There's some that are okay and some that are forgivable. I keep saying there's a scene in the beginning with babies, and I think, I mean, I'll give it this: the babies and some of the other shit in that scene, if you watch the movie, look awful. It's like, wow, it looks like Boss Baby, except worse, somehow. And I get they're going for it's a goofy tone, so it's like it kind of works a little bit, but not really. It looks terrible. And then the last like hour, there's some special effects here and there that are okay, but there's some that are like, whoa, that was fucking terrible. And I again, some of them I'll talk about later. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. I know everybody's talking shit about Ezra Miller for good reasons. I know I haven't really gone in depth on what they've been accused of, or not even accused of. I think just straight up done. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't care. I don't follow Hollywood actors like some people do. I just don't care. The only times I ever do is if it's like person that everybody knows is likable. Hopefully, you never know. And I'll watch like an interview or something because it's funny or fun or whatever. Mainly like a Graham Norton thing, but that's it though. There's times where I like to see an actor as a human being, and like Graham Norton does that very well. Not just like, oh, you're an actor. Oh, let's talk about actor shit. Hey, Chris Pratt do a magic trick. Oh, okay, I'll do a magic trick. I don't know. It's just like a little shit like that is okay. But besides that, don't give a fuck. Do not care. I lived through the fucking Brad Jelena shit. And the Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Aniston thing. Sure, but like I was talking about J-Lo and Ben Affleck shit. I don't care. I just don't fucking care. But I know Ezra Miller is a weirdo. Maybe a sex pervert. I'm not 100% sure. But I gotta give credit. Ezra Miller is great in this movie. Like, just straight up. I can't fault Ezra Miller in this movie. And I can understand why DC didn't want to get rid of them. I think they probably should have just to save themselves some face, because I don't think this movie's going to do well anyway. And I just don't think. But, like, their performance is really good. It's really good. Like, Ezra Miller's very good. As both the younger version of Barry and the regular one we know. Because, of course, he meets his younger version self, which is in the trailer. That's not a spoiler. If it's in the trailer, I'm not... I feel like it's just not... It's not a spoiler. That's in the synopsis. But it's in the trailers. Even the fucking, like, teaser that came out last year, which was, like... Or, like, even... Maybe even later. I mean, earlier than that. When did that one teaser come out where it was just Batman... The back of Batman's head, and then it was the two... Barry's coming up to Wayne Manor. I want to say that was like maybe early last year or something. Maybe was it 2021? It might have been 2021. I don't know. It's been time has flown by, which is fine anytime. But Ezra Miller's great. It does a really good job with the comedy. Two very likable versions of Barry, I think. The comedy in this movie, by the way, is actually not bad at all. I thought it was actually pretty funny. There's times where it's like, but for the most part, it doesn't linger on jokes too much too. So if something's not funny, we're just moving right along. Where the MCU always does that shit where they linger and then they either bring the joke back or the joke wasn't funny and we have to have a pause for like laughter moment in the theater. Which there was actually one part that was really, 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 really awkward in this, where there's a pause when a character shows up in the beginning of the movie. You may know who I'm talking about. A character shows up, and there's a pause, and nobody in my theater gave a shit. Nobody cared. Like, and it was a pretty full theater, to be fair. But this theater is always full for fucking pretty much everything. But yeah, nobody cared. Anyway, but Ezra Miller is great, just straight up. Michael Keaton, of course, could talk about Batman all day. He doesn't show up until about halfway through, but after that, he's in it pretty much the entire time, almost. And I thought he was great. It was great. I mean, his introduction, I could have done. I would have preferred it a different way, maybe a little bit more Batman-ish. I guess you kind of get it, but it's also, I don't know, see how you feel. But I think his intro was like, all right. I would have liked his intro to have been in a Batman suit, or just like not even a Batman suit, just maybe different. But I thought he was great. I thought he was great. Michael Beaton, yeah. He does beat some dudes, which was really satisfying, because you know the action scenes in the Tim Burton movies are not the best, and you don't really see him fight. I mean, you do, but you don't see. It's a lot of cutting away. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not saying it's bad, but it was really satisfying to see him actually beat some ass, which is cool. But yeah, he's great. I really love Michael Keaton. I think he got that Keaton charm, and he's in it for a good amount. And I like his relationship between the two Barrys, and even Supergirl later, even though that's kind of underdeveloped. Sasha Kali or something like that. I thought she was good, but she's barely in it. And honestly, like in the long run, it's kind of a pointless character, like very pointless, especially when it's revealed that I'm sorry, not that when it's revealed. This is not a spoiler. I'm trying to say when she's revealed to be in the movie is what I'm trying to say. Because it's like an hour and maybe like 30 minutes into the movie, and the movie is like an hour, like 2 hours and like 20 minutes, but that's not kind of credit. So she's only in it for the last like 40 minutes. She's not in it a lot at all. She's on the poster like, yeah, she's in a lot, but she really isn't. And if you're thinking this is gonna be like Flashpoint, it's not. I mean, I guess it is kind of, but not really. All I know about Flashpoint is the freaking cartoon, which I love. I thought it was fantastic, and that movie's way better than this. But that movie does, because that movie's like, what, 80 minutes long, and it does all that stuff better, all the character drama better. But it also has the benefit of an actual cohesive feeling universe at the time, because that's a part of a DC anime universe where this just doesn't feel cohesive at all. So a lot of characters just like, what, you know, like this and that are weird, and like I don't know, I get this is Ben Affleck, but like I still don't have a good feeling of who this Batman is, and these characters show up, I'm like, I don't really know them that much either. It's just weird. I don't know, it's just weird, where the DC animated universe is much better. Yeah, the Flashpoint movie is definitely better, and it has a lot more emotional moments that work better. That being said, there are a couple moments in this movie that actually I teared up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. There's one scene towards the end that's fantastic. Great acting from Ezra Miller. So cannot fault Ezra Miller. But Sasha Kali, whatever, she's good, but I would like to see her more. It's just like, I don't know. Michael Shannon completely fucking wasted, and you waste Michael Shannon, I'm upset. A lot of the other side characters are kind of wasted too. Like I really like Ron Livingston, and he of course he plays Barry Allen's father, Henry, and he's good in it. He's not in it a lot, but he has a fatherly warmth. I like the actress. I didn't look her up, I'm sorry, but the actress that played Barry Allen's mother, I thought she was very good. She had some great moments with Ezra Miller's with Barry, and they're really heartfelt. And the action, for the most part, when the special effects aren't terrible, they do the thing where they have an action scene set to like a popular song, and for the most part, that stuff is okay. It's fine. I wish there was more Flash stuff though going on, because they run really fast and punch, but I feel like there's a lot more moves Flash can do that are really fun. There are a couple moments where that happens, but I wish there was more of that. There's also a plot element to this that I don't think was revealed in the story or in the trailers that I thought was like, oh no, we're doing this. I won't spoil it yet. I'll talk about it in the spoiler section. But, yeah, special effect wise, terrible for the most part. But the story has a lot of emotion. There's fun character stuff. Pretty decent dialogue for the most part. It's not bad at all. I think Ezra Miller definitely carries it for the most part. Not even for the most part. I thought he was just, or they were, whatever the fuck. It is very, very good. And, Yeah, it was a fun movie. Is it amazing? No, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I don't think it's definitely not one of the greatest. I don't know what Tom Cruise. I don't know if Tom Cruise and Spielberg was fucking blitz as shit when they were watching this movie, or they were paid a lot of money. Maybe because he said that about this movie, the next Top Gun will have a bigger budget. I don't know. Who knows? If so, then I'll take that sacrifice. Shit. Tom Cruise saying something that's wrong and we get a better movie in the future? Sure, I'll take that. Fine. Maybe Spielberg was like, I've had a few flops. I need some money. Warner Bros. Is hurting bad too. They'll give me some money to fucking praise their movie. Anyway, add another million to my next movie. Anyway, so that's it for the non-spoiler section. If I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it like a 7, maybe 7.5. That again, this is now though. I just got out of the theater an hour ago. So this could change. This 100% could change. In a week, or if I see it again, I could be like, nah, that movie sucked dick. That's the problem with, that's why I don't like doing movie reviews immediately when I come out of the theater. And that's why I like to do the shorts. A minute. I just say, I enjoyed it, blah, 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 go see it, or don't go see it, whatever. Because I like to think about the movies more, but this one, I just felt like I really want to talk about some of the spoiler stuff. And I really want to talk about the special effects, because good fuck. Yeah, it's just... yeah, we'll see how I feel. If I really feel something different in like a week or something, I'll do another video. If it's like, now it's like a 7 or 6.5, then it ain't worth it. But like, I wish I did a video again for Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange, I have I'm talking about the last one, the Multiverse of Madness. Literally, I want to say it was the day of recording that review. No, I watched that video. No, I made that video the same day I watched that movie. I want to say a day or two after I seen it the first time I saw it again, and I was bored out of my fucking mind. And then all the really terrible shit was really flooding in. I was like, oh no, this doesn't make sense. This is fucking stupid. This character wouldn't do this. It was just like, oh no. That's why I don't even think I did a review for Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm just like, I don't care. I might have. I don't remember. Anyway, I definitely didn't do one for Black Panther. I don't remember, because I was not seeing that again. Anyway, this movie, I actually do think I want to see again, because it was fun. And it might actually work better the second time, knowing how bad the special effects are and not being that surprised by them this time. There's fun sequences, fun character stuff. Special effects are bad. A lot of predictability. There's things in the story that I didn't think worked. But 7.5. I enjoyed it. All right, so now, spoilers. This is a long video. I wanted this not to be that long. At least it ain't gonna be 40 minutes unless I really talk a lot here. Okay. Let's talk about spoilers. Oh man, this movie, holy shit. So, first spoiler, just real quick before we get to the big ones. I did not know, and maybe I just missed it or I don't remember from the trailer. Our Barry Allen, the one that we followed, the main one with the shorter haircut, because we got the younger one with the longer haircut, loses his powers at a certain point in the movie after trying to get the younger version to get his powers, so they could be both super powered. So he loses his powers, but the younger version gains powers, so you can already see where that's going. Oh, he's going to be goofy and do goofy shit, and because he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's also a fucking moron. Which, admittedly, that's exactly what happens, and it's obvious stuff, so what was going to happen. But admittedly, it was pretty funny, I'm not going to lie. I like that stuff. And that's... I want to say the first half of the movie is where the special effects aren't too terrible. Like I said, the doubling effect is really good. But I really liked that sequence where like the younger one was just like, all right, like learning how to use the powers, but like not really learning, just kind of doing shit and then fucking up and stuff. I thought that stuff was fine. There was some really funny moments in the movie. But anyway, I was kind of annoyed when that happened, though. I will say, when he loses his power, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be one of those where he's in peril, he'll need to be helped. It's like, it's called The Flash, and the Flash, the main Flash, doesn't have his powers for like almost half the movie, and it was like, oh, don't do this, come on. It didn't end up being that much of a problem, especially when they introduced Batman in it. So I guess it made sense. You had a Flash that didn't know how to use his powers, and then you had the Batman. If you had, and I'll talk about Keaton Batman, obviously. If you had a fully powered, awesome Flash, then there would be no point to having Batman, really. I mean, there would be, but not as much of a point. So, Yeah, so that's when they meet Keaton. Keaton's Batman is great. I love him. The suits look great. The Batwing looks awesome. You can see in the poster. He goes into that Russian base where they find Supergirl, where they think it's gonna be Superman, but it's actually Supergirl, and beats some ass, and I love that. That whole sequence was great. Then we have, of course, Supergirl scene. She's all what do you call it? Emancipated? Is that what it's called? Where you're like skinny shit. They bring her outside. She gets better, and she's awesome. She beats everybody up. And then later on, of course, in the movie, she at first she's like, I don't want to help you guys, and then she comes back, sees that Zod's an asshole, which you would assume she already knew that, but she comes back and like, all right, I'll help you. And she even helps our Barry get his powers back by bringing his ass closer to some lightning and then giving him powers. And I guess he's also coated in like some of the chemicals or some shit. So, or actually, was he injected with chemicals, or I don't remember that part. Whatever, doesn't matter. Because you need to have the chemicals and the lightning, which is silly, but whatever. Fuck it. There's a lot of problems when it comes to plot holes. There's probably tons in this. I mean, when you do time travel shit, there's no way in hell you're not gonna get away. There's no way in hell you're not gonna at least have one or two or a million plot holes. People really get into it. Like the EFAP guys are gonna love this movie. I already fucking feel it. Like, I'll be a fun one to watch. And yes, I watch EFAP. I know some people hate them. I don't fucking care. I like them. So whatever. Anyway, you know, that's the thing. You have differing opinions. It's fine. It's fine. I like movies they hate, and you know what? I still listen to their thing, and I'm like, you know what? That's their opinion. In my opinion. They're right about things. I don't think they're right about certain things. I don't care enough to fucking leave a comment like, oh, you guys are dumb, you're ruining cinema. No, you know who's ruining cinema? Cinema? Cinema itself. You know, these superhero movies and shit. But, no, they're ruining it, but, you know. It'd be nice to have some smaller scale movies sometimes. Even during the summer. I mean, you do, I guess, but it's hard to get to a theater when they're not there because 4 of the screens have to be taken up by the Flash. Oh, cool. I really want to see Beau is Afraid. Oh. All of the things are taken up by whatever fucking movie was out at the time. I remember wanting to see Beau is Afraid, and it was gone after a week because they needed to fit something else in. I forgot what it was. Whatever. That one I was like, I kind of want to watch it home anyway because I have a feeling the theater experience for that one will be not quite what I want, but anyway, that might be a better at-home experience. Maybe as a reaction too. Anyway, so that being said, The Flash is still one of the better superhero movies recently, I think, at least, because it's way far and away better than Ant-Man. The Ant-Man was unlikable, just completely. I just didn't like it at all. Here it's whatever. Anyway, so Zod. So of course Supergirl and them fight Zod, which is kind of pointless because this whole world, like, why are we fighting Zod? It doesn't really matter. Why don't we just fucking leave and stuff? But I guess Barry's just like, we got help. You know, even if this world is not really my world at all, and if I have to go back and fix things, it's not going to exist anyway or whatever. It will, but you know, this world is whatever. It needs help. And I like that Supergirl in the trailer. It looked like Supergirl was just cleaning up Zod, but no, Zod actually beats the shit out of Supergirl and kills her. And they keep going back to fix it because they can do that. Obviously, both Flashes, and it just keeps happening. And this is the one thing. I'm sure there's like a lot of plot elements that just don't work here. But when I'm watching it, when my brain turned off, I actually liked it. Is that you can't fix it. This is a definite end to this world. This world ends with Zod coming in because there's no Superman and Supergirl's not strong enough, which I thought was funny because, you know, every one of the big movies that come out now, it's like girls are awesome. They're better than the men. And this movie, Supergirl just can't fucking kill Zod. And I'm like, wow, they went there, huh? Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, this world is just over. You know, Batman can't do anything. The Flash can't do anything, I guess. You know, they can go faster in time. You think they just go really fast and then just fucking... I guess they do kind of show that Zod is also fast. They also showed Superman can do this too. So I guess it really won't work. But, which is crazy because you'd think the Flash should be like... Flash can go fucking so fast he can reverse time. He can't go... just a little bit slower than that just to be faster than Zod. I don't know. It's, again, this is the shit you have to think about. Like, So anyway, they realize, okay, we can't defeat them, and also we keep fucking things up, and they see like they're in the Speed Force or whatever or wherever that zone is, and they see all these different universes and stuff, and they're all colliding because they keep fucking the butterfly effect, but they keep fucking things up and destroying all these universes, and they realize, wow, we're destroying them all, and then this is when all you people were like, yes, cameos. That's what I need. This is where all your cameos come in. And they're all CG, and they all look like shit. And I couldn't. All right, let's get through some of them. So you got like the original Superman, of course. You got oh fuck, now I forgot their names. The original Superman. You got the original Flash actor. You got like, but they're all CG'd. So you got Adam West is there at one point, CG'd, of course. Deep fake, I'm sure, was used as well. You got all these, and then the big one, the first one that like it really zooms in on, and I'm like, no, no, please, no, because I was like, all right, even if this looks amazing, I just don't. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like Harold Ramis showing up at the end of the last Ghostbusters movie. I'm like, no, please. You're doing so well not showing him, having him be like a lamp. You don't need to show him. And then they show him. So Christopher Reeve is there, and he looks fucking awful. It looks so terrible. I was like, no, please don't do this. And then, of course, what's her name? Helen Slater, is that her name? Who played Supergirl in that shitty ass movie. Is there too. I'm like, all right. That movie's fun, bad, though. Is it Helen Slater? I want to say it's something like that. It doesn't matter. And she's there too, and she's CG, but whatever. And I just felt like it was, I don't know. I'm sure they got the blessings and stuff, all that. Obviously, they can't just use his fucking likeness and say, oh, that's it. Well, I guess maybe they can. Don't they own this? They might actually be able to. I'm not sure how that works, but I don't care who gave the blessing. It just feels so slimy. Like Christopher Reeve shows up and it looks awful. It looks, hey, everybody gave shit about fucking what's his name in Rogue One. Or even like I said, Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis one actually looked pretty good. The fucking Peter Cushing one, what's his character's name? I forgot. That one looked not great. At the time, I was like, yeah, it looks okay. And then more and more time passes. I just watched a reaction recently for that. I haven't seen that movie in a while, but I saw the special effect, and they record theirs in 4K, so I could watch the whole thing in 4K. I'm like, ew. I was like, oh fuck, that looks really bad. Like uncanny valley ass fucking head. Not even the eyes, it was everything. It looks so bad. But even the Carrie Fisher thing at the end looked terrible. Actually, that might even look worse because I don't know. That's just, I don't know. I don't know why it's worse. It feels worse. But this is so bad. I just like, all right, it was cool to see him. I get it. Some people are gonna be, oh, good weave, yay, and it's cool. It just feels wrong. Like at first I was like, like when it was building up, I was like, oh no, and then you see him, and then there's just a spark. And I'm like, this looks bad. Oh no, and there goes that little spark. Like, it made me want to watch the original 2 movies. No, well, 4 is really funny bad. 3 is kind of annoying. I love Richard Pryor, but he fucking did not help that movie. The 4th one is so bad, it's kind of fun. It's so low budget and it's so bad. Is that the one where he like has heat rays where he can fix the Great Wall of China? I think that's the 4th one. If that's the 3rd one, that's one of my favorite scenes in cinema history. It's fucking so dumb. I love it. Anyway, so that happens. Of course, right after that, I'm sure this is going to be huge. I haven't looked it up yet. I'm sure everybody's talking about this one because this was cool. Actually, I actually like this one legitimately because it shows another world and there's a giant spider and I'm like, oh shit, immediately because I know the Kevin Smith story about this, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm a huge An Evening with Kevin Smith fan. I love those, the original 3 at least, mainly the first one. The two and 3 are really good too. The 3rd one, he talks about his anal fissure story way too long, but I want to say the 3rd one, if anybody's listening to those, Kevin Smith is a really good speaker, more so in the early 2000s than he is now, because now he's like, I don't know, he's a little, I don't care for Kevin Smith as much as I used to. I used to love Kevin Smith. Even if his movies sucked, I love listening to him speak. But Yeah, he talked about like an anal fissure for like legitimately. I think the third one, there's one question asked in the entire show is just him talking about random shit. And I'm like, what? Anyway, so anyway, he talks about how he was going to write. He wrote, technically, he did write a script for a Superman movie starring Nicolas Cage and directed by Tim Burton. And he talked about the story how this producer really wanted him to have a bunch of weird shit, like he wasn't gonna wear a cape, I don't think. No, he wasn't gonna fly. He didn't like that he could fly for some fucking reason. John Peters was the name of the producer. And there was a bunch of other stuff. Brainiac would be in it. He's gonna have to fight a polar bear. That was a weird one. There was a couple other things that were weird, but the biggest weird thing was that at one point Spider-Man Spider-Man show up. Superman fucking weird. Superman would have to fight a giant spider because John Peters really likes spiders, so much so that when Wild Wild West came out, which he produced, there's a giant spider in the movie. So he got his fucking giant spider. But in this movie, in The Flash, a giant spider is shown getting his ass beat by a Superman. We can't tell what Superman it is. Has long hair, so me like, because the concept art showed Nicolas Cage with, or even I think there's like test footage of him with the suit on, with him with long hair, and I'm like, and then he turns around and it's Nick Cage. Now I couldn't tell. It looks CG, but I keep hearing that he actually, like, well, I keep hearing. I looked it up. I looked it up on Wikipedia. I keep hearing. I looked up on Wikipedia because I really want to know if he was actually there, and it said he was there. It was him cameoing. It looked weird, but I think it might have just because of CG all around him. He doesn't speak or anything, but he's just there, and it's Nick Cage as Superman. And I was like, you almost made up for it. Christopher Reeve one, I don't like. I really don't like that. But the Nick Cage one, I like that one. It looked terrible, but I like that they did it. It was funny. It was funny that they put the fucking giant spider in there. I love that. I actually love that more than just Nick Cage being in it. I love that they took that story. Everybody knows that story, and they put it in there. So that was really funny. So that's like, I feel like that's like a 22-year payoff because I don't think anybody knew about the giant spider ever until Kevin Smith talked about it at one of his shows, and now it's been like an urban legend about not urban legend, but it's been this thing, and then they put it in the fucking movie. I thought that was so good. I'm sure Kevin Smith saw it and cried like he fucking cries about everything. He's like, look at my, he took a picture. Where's my phone? He's like, all right, anyway, wipe this fucking shit off me.
Thank you, Daddy.
Oh, no problem, girl. Took it off charge. She likes to thank me. She's a good girl. 32 minutes, god damn it.
Thank you, Daddy.
Shut up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Anyway, I put her back on charge, so she thanks me. Anyway. What was I talking about? Anyway, Nick Cage. Then, okay, so I think a couple other cameos happened. I didn't, whatever. Everything looks terrible. So, I thought we were going to get Reverse Flash at one point, but we don't. We just find out the younger Barry kept trying to fix it so Supergirl and all of them didn't die. So, because at this point, Keaton keeps dying too, and Supergirl keeps dying from Zod, and Zod wins and destroys the Earth and makes it new Krypton or whatever. Which was his goal in Man of Steel, obviously. But there's no Superman, so he's fucked. Or no, he's not fucked. He's the opposite of fucked. This time. He was fucked in Man of Steel. He's not fucked in this one. So, that happens, and then the Barry just keeps trying, but because he keeps failing, all these universes are destroyed and stuff. And then it's revealed that the young Barry is like this weird, like we see him a couple times earlier in the movies, is like this weird, I don't even know how to explain it, just this creature looking thing. And he keeps looking, he looks like that because he keeps reversing time and getting fucked up in small different ways. So he just keeps looking, he looks fucked up. I don't even know how to explain it. He keeps going back to try to fix the problem, but every time he doesn't fix it, and he also gets fucked up a little bit more, which is an interesting idea. You see it slowly happen to the young Barry, but then the young Barry, a different version of him, it's time travel. I'm not gonna explain it. So anyway, the young Barry sacrifices himself so he can end the timeline there, and then the old young Barry. This is confusing. The weird looking creature Barry disappears, and then R. Ezra Miller Barry, the regular one, goes back in time and redoes what he did to fix. It was all about a tomato soup can. or no, just tomato can, because she forgot to get the tomato can, and because of that she gets murdered, which they don't explain who actually murdered her. So that's weird. Unless it was him. I think they what say, or was it? Now I'm confused. Did they explain who murdered her? I don't remember. People let me know. But anyway, the movie is wrapping up, and he learns a lesson. He has a really, really good scene with his mom where he's like, "Hey, I like that cereal." He's about to redo everything, and she doesn't know who he is because this is in the past where he's a kid, so she doesn't know who he is. And he's like, I love my mommy," and she's like, "Oh, you want a hug?" You love your mommy? I love my mommy very much. And it's actually a really good scene. And then he goes back and redoes it and changes one little thing so he can get his father off of a jail sentence, like for life in prison, because they think he killed the wife. But obviously he didn't. Well, actually, I guess we don't really know who killed. I'm still confused about that. But anyway, so he does that and he thinks everything's fine. He fixed everything. Bruce Wayne calls him. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Bruce?" And he's like, "I'm coming, Barry." And he's like, "Well, that's weird." Okay. I mean, all right, bye. And then the car pulls up. Bruce Wayne walks out. And immediately I'm like, I was thinking in my head, who is it going to be? It's not going to be Val Kilmer. And I mean, I was like, because it's not going to be, I know it's definitely not going to be Ben Affleck, because that would be weird. That's how the movie ends. Because you can feel, you ever just know a movie's about to end, even if it's not ramping up? I just know it's about to end. I don't need to look at my watch. I don't have a watch, but I don't need to look at the time. I know it just, you get that feeling. Even like, you know exactly when it's going to end too. I know, I knew deep down in my gut that the movie was about to end in like 20 seconds when he was walking. And then he walks up, and I was like, it's gonna be George Clooney. And he walks up, and it's fucking George Clooney. And I'm like, yep, it's George Clooney, and it's Bruce Wayne. And then he's like, "What the fuck?" They drop a fuck bomb in it, and the movie pretty much ends where he's like, "I don't, what the fuck?" So he changed one little thing to make it so his father gets off of his jail sentence that he was probably gonna do, and it changed it again. So I don't know where it's gonna go after that. And there's a post-credit scene with Aquaman, which is fun. Oh, by the way, there's the scene earlier in the movie with Wonder Woman. That's what I was talking about when I said a character shows up and nobody cared when they showed up, and there's like a pause moment for like a clap. Nobody clapped in my theater. No one cared. I think it just, I mean, the last Wonder Woman movie sucked. She just cameoed at the end of the last Fast and Furious movie, and she cameoed at the end of Shazam 2, I think, right? I haven't seen Shazam 2, but I think she did, or maybe the beginning. I don't know. I didn't see it, but I thought I heard that. I'm pretty sure she did. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler for Shazam 2 for all 4 people that give a shit about watching it. Or the 4 people that watched it. I don't know. There's a foreigner somewhere. Anyway, so that's it. This is a way longer video than I was expecting. I said earlier it's gonna be a short video. It's not. But that's what happens when I start fucking talking. But I enjoyed it. There's problems, obviously. I don't know how the fuck this is gonna connect to James Gunn's new universe. I guess they could just easily say he changed everything again. I don't know. It's a branching storyline. I don't know. It's branching. It's like spaghetti or whatever. That's what Michael Keaton calls the timeline, like spaghetti or some shit. Anyway, there we go. That's it. I just wanted to talk about it. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.